Just a warning, friends and fellow VEDSies, this isn't going to be one of the fun ones. So as the month comes to an end, I'm thinking more and more about how I want to wrap up with this theme. Unlike the last 2 years' themes, this year's theme kind of has a question at the middle of it, or at least a curiosity as to why I've been going back to these things right now. And as I've thought over that and we've looked at things from my childhood, I have started asking 2 questions. 1, is this too self-indulgent? Which I'm just gonna leave on the table. We ain't gonna touch that today. And 2, what am I supposed to do about the pieces of media and art that I want to talk about that I have issues with the people who made those? For example, I was going to talk about the Nostalgia Critic this month because it just made sense. He was someone I watched a lot back in the day, and well, his whole shtick was about nostalgia. It just seemed like the stars were aligning. But the more and more I worked on that video, the less and less it became about him and more about, well, why I'm not watching him anymore. There are kind of 2 parts to that. 1, I just don't think his stuff is that good anymore. But more importantly, 2, there was some pretty damning information that came out about his company, the stuff that he allowed to happen under his watch, and the stuff that he did that I just can't get past now. So I thought, well, I guess I just need to make a video about how we relate to media from our childhood that we have, you know, issues with the authors. But I was thinking, well, but this one's kind of easy, right? Because there was a sharp decline in his quality around the same time that all this information came out. So it's not like it was hard to give him up. And then there was someone else. Good old J.K. Rowling. Listen, I'm pretty sure everyone watching this video is a fan of Harry Potter. And yeah, Harry Potter's awesome. Just our girl J.K. And you know, there were just signs there from the beginning. The queer baiting certainly was a little suspicious, and you know, liking posts from trans realists was not the best of move. But then you go all out and you write a treatise on the topic, and yeah. But it's always tricky because, let's face it, I have read each Harry Potter book at least 12, 15 times. It's ingrained into who I am. And realistically, I cannot cut out that part of my identity. But I also can't ignore the fact that its author is using her enormous resources and platform to push a repulsive message out to her millions of followers. The simple answer, guys, is I don't know how to talk about this stuff. Maybe I shouldn't be making a video on it, but I felt like I need to. Nostalgia is a door, right? It's a door that leads you into a reconstructed imagining of your past. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. However, this is like if someone went up to that door and they nailed a sign on there. You don't agree with what's on the sign, but it is a part of that experience now. I guess what I'm trying to say, in a very rambly, roundabout way, is that when it comes to your relationship with art, it's telling 2 stories. It's telling the story of the author who made it, and it's telling the story of the person who read, watched, experienced it. So when we feel a tension between the relationship between an art and its maker, then we're feeling something that's natural, that makes sense, and that's healthy in our relationship with that story. Maybe that means you can never engage with the story again. I grew up watching The Cosby Show, loved it, will never watch an episode again. Maybe that means that with an understanding of the real world situations surrounding a piece of art, you can still engage with it in a different but equally mature way. Just depends. So yeah, sometimes nostalgia breaks. But if the opposite of that is to go into denial, to sacrifice my own values, well, I'm not going to do that. Trans lives matter. I'll see you tomorrow.